Good evening. This is Timothy Stanfield. You're watching Testimony TV. This is a very special occasion for me. Why? Because I came back to a place where I first kicked the backboard, which is that goal right back there. And I'm here with W Lawson III. And he has a special testimony that we should hear. And hopefully you can get something out of it to help you or help somebody go through certain things that they've been through. Bill, how you doing?
I'm great.
Why don't you first tell everybody who you are? And let's start from the beginning, from a little kid up under your father, Bill Lawson, who was my coach. And let's go back, let's reflect back when you was a little kid of how this process all began to bring you here as such time.
Okay. Well, my name is W Lawson III. I'm currently the athletic director here at Petersburg High School. Former varsity basketball coach here. Was the head coach for 9 years. Going back, my father, when he left Matoka High School to come and coach here in 1976, I believe, I was 5 years old, and I grew up in this gym. During his games, I actually used to sit right up under the scores table and hand the guys water, but I was always observing everything that went on. So the gym is named after my father, and this is my second home. Like I said, I grew up here. I didn't go to school here, but I feel like this is my home and always has been.
So I remember you being up under your father, coming to the games and everything. So we here right now. As a kid growing up watching your father do what he does, and you doing what you do. But let's go deeper. Let's tap into the essence of why you've been through what you've been through. And how did you get through it? Let's start from the beginning.
Well, just to say, I believe it's hereditary in my instance, because everything that I went through, my father went through. As far as being on dialysis, he was diabetic. He went through the same procedures that I went through. And he did it, I think he went through it for either 4 to 5 years. And it just got to the point where they might not have caught it as early enough with him. With me, when I got caught with it, it was actually in the middle of at the beginning of one of my seasons. Just wasn't feeling well, and went to get checked out. And when I went to one of the patient first, they told me I needed to go straight to the hospital. And from that point on, I was in the hospital for 10 days, and it was a rough 10 days. For instance, my baby wasn't even 1 yet. She was getting ready to turn 1 in December. I went into the hospital in November. Like I said, for 10 days. I got out before her birthday, so that was definitely a blessing to be there. Then it was a struggle, having to adapt to a different way of living. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you're on dialysis, you're going 3 times a week.
Wow.
And you're in there no less than 3.5 hours. And when I first started, I was in there for 4 hours. 3 times a week. I was going Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And during that time with my schedule as a coach, we played on every Tuesday.
Wow.
We played Tuesday, Friday, and some Saturdays. So, sometimes where I would come teach my class and then once I was finished teaching for the day, I would go to dialysis, leave then, and then come back and either have practice or had to go to a game.
Wow. So, going through this process, what kept you? A lot of people would have quit. What kept you going?
A few things. I took it as a part-time job. In order for me and and my family to continue to live in the lifestyle that we grew up living. I had to work. I couldn't just sit there and just take disability.
Wow.
We would have never been able to live off of it.
Wow.
And I took it as a part-time job, but I also took it, I need to be here for my family, my 2 girls and my wife. I need to be here and help support them. And they were supportive of everything I went through.
I was about to say, how did it affect them? You going through what you're going through?
Like I said, when I went through it, my daughter wasn't even 1, so she actually grew up with me going through this whole process. And then my oldest daughter, I believe she was maybe 6 or 7. It was sort of a new experience for her. But my wife did a great job of, handling home, and I wasn't able to handle home. Being able to go to some of the cheerleading practices or dance practices or dance recitals.
So, you went through it, families went through it. Could you pinpoint where you said hereditary? Could it be by eating?
I think it was sort of
a combination.
I think it was a combination because I was young when my grandfather passed away, but I believe my grandfather had some of the same traits. And then with my father, because both my grandmother and my grandfather were diabetic.
Wow.
So
type 1, type 2,
type 2. So I believe my father had it, and I felt like it was inevitable. That I was going to get it. And then it just got to the point. I had to fight through it to beat it. It was hard. They didn't have almost 9 years on dialysis.
9 years on dialysis?
Yes, sir.
A lot of people would have quit. I remember you telling me this, and I was like, people need to hear this because it's definitely a driving force to help people get through it, let them know that they can make it. They can go through to get to a new life.
Yes, definitely.
Basically, you have a new life. So, did you get so you got a new kidney?
I got one from a person that was deceased.
Wow. Yeah. So, how is that process for other people? So, a lot of people ain't so lucky, all right?
No, and you can get the stats from the American Kidney Fund. But what I've noticed, a lot of people have family members that donate kidneys, and that's great. But when you like me, a small family.
Yeah.
My father was the only child. I'm the only child. And see, my mother wanted to, but my mother was already, of age. You know what I'm saying? So because of her age, they wouldn't even test her. And I had some friends that wanted to, but I couldn't see myself asking for somebody to do it. I really couldn't. So, it's different ways of going about doing it. When I first got diagnosed, I was borderline because of my weight, as far as being able to get on the list to receive a kidney. Wow. And so, I went to the point that I really wasn't trying to, whatever, I was at the point whatever happened.
Wow.
Basically. And then it got to the point I wasn't raised just to let it happen. As coaches, you always want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, you take my grandfather, who was head football coach at Virginia State.
Right.
He was the winner. My father was the winner. And I was the winner when I coached.
Yeah.
So, it was just, that's not in my DNA.
Losing not in your DNA.
So, I just wanted to fight through it.
Right.
Like I said, to be there for my girls.
I think you have done a magnificent job dealing with life, business. Your testimony is definitely going to help other people go through the process. It's like a process because a lot of people can get lost in the process. And to find a kidney that actually matches you, that, I mean, there's so many different variables that you can get caught in.
Right.
And for you to be here, how many pounds have you lost?
I lost 50 pounds.
Wow.
I lost 50 pounds. And then once I lost the weight, I got on the list. I believe it was in, I got on the list in March.
Wow.
Right close to my birthday. And I got back on the list.
Okay.
Because I had been on the list. And then once I got everything to the point where I was able to go forward after all the tests,
right.
My name now, because I've been on it so long, goes to the top of the list.
Wow.
So once I got back reinstated, as you can say, in March, actually I got 3 calls before I actually got my kidney.
Wow.
You know, and then once I got it, I got that phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What did you do? Did you jump to the ceiling?
No, because I had to be there in an hour.
Oh, so you had to program your whole process in 1 hour?
Not less than that, because it takes me 30 minutes to get to the hospital.
So what was going through? Just everything,
rushing, jump through because when I didn't get the first 2 calls, I got the calls, but I didn't get the kidney.
Right.
I had a bag packed, but I had got to the point I put myself up.
Wow.
So now I got to rush to get my bag straight, jump in the shower.
Right.
And then before I left the door, I told my wife. And I said, don't say nothing to the girls until later. Because I knew it was the process once I get there.
Right.
So I cut on the little Waze on my phone.
Yeah.
Tell you where the police are.
Right.
You was jetted. I got to the hospital in about 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So processing all that in one that had to be like a rush, right? How do you process that?
We're trying to process it, but I'm one of those guys, I put myself last. So as I'm going up the highway, I'm not thinking about the surgery.
Right.
I'm thinking about the high school.
Wow.
I'm thinking about what programs I had coming up that week because I couldn't prepare for me not being there.
Right.
So I'm thinking about who I'm gonna call, who I need to put in charge, you know, and when I got to my room, I text for 3 hours.
Everything and everybody.
Everything for the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because I wasn't sure how long I was going to be in the hospital.
Wow.
So I wanted to make sure, you know, because I'm all about the kids. So I didn't want to let the kids down because of something that I was going through.
You know, that's so interesting. That reminds me of my wife. She's boom, 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 boom. And, you know, which is good. So what would you say to those out there, somebody that's going through? Last words of encouragement. And
you know, I've actually contacted some people through Facebook because I'll see some posts about going through dialysis, how hard it is, and you know how draining it is. Because it is. Right. It is because if I didn't have basketball or athletics, it would have been hard because I was so anxious, like I said, to help the kids and make sure everything was good in Petersburg because I care about Petersburg so much.
Right.
I had that adrenaline all day. But if it was a day where I didn't have anything after dialysis, I was drained.
Wow.
I mean, I would go home and go to sleep.
So that you being in everything actually kept your mind going. So your adrenaline was at a certain height.
I didn't let it handicap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew what I was going through, and I'm not one of those that I didn't go out telling everybody.
Wow.
You know, some people knew.
Yes.
But, you know, and if they knew, they knew.
They knew.
You know, but I would just keep on going, and I go to say, you know, like I've seen a couple people that have posted different things about dialysis. So I'll say something to them about, you know, it's a mind game. You have to mentally prepare yourself to be in there for 3.5 hours, and then get out of there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I didn't do everything I was supposed to do while I was on dialysis.
Right.
But I just try to help the next person, you know, try to get through it. Because, you know, if I didn't have people to talk to about it, people that actually went through it, you know, you can hear from the doctors, you know, all the things that how it should go. But if the doctors haven't really been through it, they just see their patients go through things.
Right.
but to physically have to
through
get
it.
stuck every other day, for the lines
When you say stuck,
where the needles, they go in your arm, and that's where the blood flow goes through. Yeah.
So wouldn't they? Is it you said every day?
I mean, when you go for treatment, that's part of it. They clean your area and they stick it because the blood has to go in, it has to come out. It goes through the machine and it's clean.
Now, wouldn't they run out of places to stick you? I know.
No, where I have a graft. I have a graft where it goes in the same area. I mean, it's not the exact same spot each time, but in that area, like one will go one way, one will go another way because the blood flow is coming through. Exactly, because it's going to the machine to get clean. Right. And and then you have a lot of different places because I have mine here. I've seen some that have it here. And before I got this, I think the first 8 months, I had it, I can't remember what it was now, in my chest, catheter.
A catheter.
I had a catheter. So with the catheter, you can't get it wet. So taking a shower, I had to wash this part and then move around because you can't have that direct because you don't want to get infected.
Wow.
And see, I've had one infected before, and that's, I don't want to say it's a normal thing, but it happens a lot when you have that. That's why they want you to get either like a fistula or a graft.
Wow. Yeah. So why are we here today? Is it let's talk to them and let them know why are we wearing these shirts and the why did you decide to do what we're doing here this weekend?
Okay. Yeah. I actually the American Kidney Fund had a banquet I was invited to last year in DC, and I was at the banquet, and they were honoring different people, and people were giving their testimonies as things they went through or their family went through, and it was just overwhelming to see other people that have been through it, and then to see some of the things that they did to help the American Kidney Fund, like raising money in different. I mean, you had one little girl. She had a T-shirt thing where a lot of people were buying the T-shirts, and then the proceeds from the T-shirt went to the American Kidney Fund. And just seeing those different things, and it was, you go through a lot, so you want to pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? And I'm blessed to still be here, and I understand it. And it's just to the point that I want to try to help the next person. That's why when I see it on Facebook, different status dealing with, I will comment. I don't comment on a lot of stuff on Facebook because I try to promote Petersburg High athletics. So, I just go in there and see what different people are going through. And so this is my way of having this game is to help the next person. So that's when I partner up with the American Kidney Fund to have this game.
This is very important for everybody to know and understand. We're here right now in Petersburg High School, and we're watching Testimony TV, and at the end of the day, this testimony is something that hopefully you can take with you and help somebody else go through the process. We thank W Lawson III here right now telling his testimony. Hopefully you'll be able to take something from his testimony and use it for your own and help somebody else. Bill, I'm excited to get it done. Tomorrow we do the Dunk Fit Kids dunking camp, and then tomorrow is the slam dunk contest, and the finale is the alumni game. So hopefully you're able to attend one of those events and enjoy. So we thank you, Bill Lawson III, and I'm excited to be here with him. As you see in the back right here, we in the gym. This gym is a historical gym. The Mark Wesses, the J Threets, and I mean, a lot of people came through this gym, and I'm excited to be here. So you keep watching Testimony TV, and we'll see you later.